Your vision swims back into focus, and it takes a solid second or two to reorient yourself. You're in an unfamiliar bed. Reese leans against the far wall, eyeing you with concern and curiosity. Hey, I was worried you slipped into a coma or something. You tore down a wall like a wild animal, found some weird carving, and collapsed. I think you might have had some kind of seizure. Are you okay? Wait, nothing spooky happened? The mountain didn't collapse on us? No ghosts? No, nothing. You just fell down, twitched a little, and when you seemed stable, I carried you back here. That was a few hours ago. Maybe there's something spooky going on right now and we haven't realized it yet. Reese glances around. The two of you waiting in silence as you wait for something spooky to happen. Maybe, or maybe not. I guess it would be for the best if nothing bad happened. He sighs. Too bad, though. With your track record, I was kind of hoping we'd run into some unimaginable horrors. At least I know there's an abandoned hospital wing in the morgue. I'm sure there's plenty in there to get creeped out by. I still have those documents I swiped, right? Yeah, you should still have them on you. We're gonna skim these, because I'm pretty sure I read them in full last time. Pearl Ann died of sleep apnea. Edwardine died of heart failure. Pretty normal, died of a normal old person illness. Enoch died of a fall from a cliff. Has a coroner's report attached. You quickly flip through the other Scarlets whose names aren't quite as familiar. Theodore, crushed in a mine collapse. Joseph and Lewis died in the war. Yeah, Edwardine's brothers. Fetal death, infant boy, Andrew Charles Scarlet. From Mother Edwardine Scarlet. Cause of death, complications during birth. Street smart. There was no doctor present at the birth and a home burial. There's some information missing there. Alexandra. Died age 9. Missing presumed dead. Mary Bell Scarlet. Died of complications during childbirth. Alright, it's good that we read those. Especially about the infant death. Mysterious infant death. Does Dr. Kelly know I'm here? No, I stuck you back into the house while she was busy in the medical storage room. Figured you wouldn't want to come into the morgue. Come to in the morgue. I had a vision. Like a hallucination? I have those sometimes too. Used to have them a lot as a teen. Always just weird little things, like my hands would look wrong, or my neck would seem too long, or the room would feel smaller. Whatever these visions are, they're making me very suspicious of my family. That's probably a good thing, right? The Scarlets have always seemed like one of those old money families with a ton of secrets. And that estate up on the hill seems like the kind of place that's seen at least one murder. Maybe you should try and stay away from that place. Let's not press him about the ambulance. We're gonna say, so what now? We're not gonna be like, let's leave. We're not gonna be like, I think Dr. Kelly should look me over. Because, A, we like Reese. We want to spend more time with him if we're given the opportunity. And B, we don't trust Dr. Kelly. We don't distrust her as much as we distrust Sybil at this point. But we do not trust Dr. Kelly. So what now? We might be stuck down here for a little bit. The doc is on the warpath up there. I refuse to take my medicine and she's not happy about it. But after I looked this up, there was no way I was going to take anything she gave me. She's been poisoning me for years. Ooh, new Sprite. I've been thinking about what you said at dinner last night, and I don't see any other possibility. It's only been a day since I've stopped taking my pills, and I feel great. I went ahead and blocked my door, so she can't get down here. Now we just have to wait her out. This is all new Sprites. He's not just going left and right, pacing. He's going up and down. I don't get why your mom poisoned you, though. I don't know. but the internet says this is castor bean. It's used to make ricin, a super deadly poison that causes some of my exact symptoms. And death, usually. The thing I can't figure out is whether she's been trying to kill me slowly, or if she just likes keeping me sick enough to be dependent on her. Either way, I don't think I ever had an illness. I think the illness was me growing up and becoming less easy to control. She sure found a cure for that. Ricin is really bad. How are you not dead? I don't know. Maybe it's low enough doses, or maybe I developed a tolerance. But I think the fact that I feel more and more alive by the minute is enough proof that she was keeping me sick. I don't even need solid evidence. We need to get you out of here. Who knows what she'll do when she finds out what you know? Where would we go? The only person I know who has a car is Kanika, and she's not answering her phone. I don't know anyone else. I don't have any other family to go to. I never even finished high school. When I get out of this house, I don't know how I can make sure I don't wind up right back down here. We're feeling generous. You can stay with me if you want. You let me stay with you? That's amazing. I would love that. I never thought I'd get out of this basement, let alone move to a place like Seattle. He smiles, his eyes distant as he imagines the possibility of such a life, undoubtedly for the first time. One thing I'm a little sad about is the fact that we don't canonically have a cat in this playthrough. When you go with Stella, she asks you about your living situation, and you can say you have a terrible cat named Truck. Which I think was very, very funny for Willow to have. Like, she just kind of got strapped with this cat when an old roommate left him with her. And she doesn't get along with him, and I think that's doubly funny for someone who can talk to animals but doesn't like animals. She literally just has an annoying roommate that is human in all ways except for where he does his business, you know? And you can bring that up to Reese and you say that he can live with you. And he's like, wow, I never imagined myself being the kind of person who lives with a cat. And it's really, really cute. And I'm really sad that because we went with Juke instead of Stella, we're not getting that. But it's okay. In my head, we have Truck. Thanks, Willow. You have no idea how much this offer means to me. But I guess we still gotta pass some time before we can get out of here. The distraction seems like a good idea. As you can probably tell, I'm getting a little jittery. Maybe it's the lack of poison in my system for the first time in years, or the fact that my whole perception of reality has been turned on its head. Probably a combo. It doesn't feel awful, to be honest. I believe you owe me a showing of Shi-no-Chi death blood. I believe I do. Reese gets the movie set up and joins you on the bed. Let me know if it gets to be too much for you. I'm not a great judge of how other people react to the sort of things I watch, but I definitely don't want you to feel uncomfortable. This is a slow burn of a movie, but the dread it's managing to build is palpable in the room. Or maybe that's just how it feels down here, all the time. What with the grisly paintings, lack of lighting, cinder block walls, and of course the fact that the woman currently lurking upstairs had been poisoning her son since his teens. I've seen a couple of this director's other films, and they're all interesting, though this is probably the best introduction to his work. The way it jump cuts to seemingly unrelated TV show recordings that then wind up tying back into the narrative adds a level of realism and depth to the world that I find really engrossing. It's found footage used to its fullest. He's so nerdy about his movies, I love it. I can't believe I'll be able to just do things from here on out, like watch movies with another person. Look at his little fangs, they're so cute. Or talk to people, ever. You can hear the difference in energy now that Reese hasn't had his daily dose of poison. He's uncharacteristically chatty, clearly not used to talking to another person, let alone when he has the energy to carry on a long conversation. I'm glad you'll be able to have a social life, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Reese smiles to himself. It's still hard to imagine. Hard to believe after all these years alone that's going to be my reality. A man on the screen yells portents of doom into the camera, trailing off into a wordless scream. The plot is really heating up. I love that there are all these distinct sorts of vignettes, little pockets of horror that affect a small number of people, and only once you start to see how they fit together can you realize some fundamental horror about the universe. I love that line. He's describing this game. He's describing the game that he is in. That's basically how the first 4 chapters have worked. Little vignettes of horror that don't fit together in a clear way yet, but they're going to. They're going to. And then it sees you back. Incredible. Cosmic horror in the truest sense. Reese is becoming very animated. It's probably safe to assume that he's dealing with a lot of extra adrenaline right now. What with his entire reality turning out to be a lie. But he's also talking over the movie. Give him a pass. Reese, are you feeling okay? I'm just jittery. I've had a really weird day, and I think being down here is making me anxious. I'm all hopped up on adrenaline. Maybe waiting out the dock is a bad idea. The longer we wait, the more likely it is that she'll figure out that we're on to her, and it would be too easy for her to lock me up again and be thorough about it this time. There's a knock on the window. Alright, before the spooky starts, I'm gonna drink more tea. Willow. Don't get any closer to that thing. It's time to go home. That voice. I know that voice. Is that who's been following you around? Without another word, Wayne starts pounding on the window. Good luck, freak. That glass is shatterproof. Enemies upstairs. Enemies outside. We're surrounded. Even if I get out of this house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe. Why did he call you that thing? Because he's some kind of monster and he wants me dead. Can't you feel that? The murderous intent is practically oozing out of him. But I'm not weak anymore. I can fight back. I don't have to cower in fear from the people who want to hurt me. I can protect both of us, Willow. It's funny that we said that we wanted to protect Kanika and now Reese is saying he wants to protect us. It's like a food chain of protection. The opposite of a food chain. I don't know. And then it wraps around to Kanika protecting Reese, maybe. I like that. In my fan fiction. The window shatters. As Reese tears at his clothes, paint bubbles up from the canvases. His ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds, invading yours, crawling up the walls. Grab my hand, I'll pull you out. Leave us alone! In a surge of violence, the change that has been brewing inside Reese finally comes. As it manifests, the broken basement window is sealed off, and Wayne along with it. We aren't safe, but I feel strong now. I think I can save us. Stay here, I'll be right back. I just have to deal with the dock. I think Willow is a little bit mesmerized by this. Reese storms up the stairs, leaving with his creations. Let's follow Reese and see how things play out. You make your way to the door that beckoned to you yesterday, all intrigue now washed away. You know where it leads, and you know what secrets that stone that lurks in the forgotten basement of the clinic had to share with you. Now the clinic holds a new horror. Somewhere beyond the narrow hallway leading from the house proper into the doc's office, there is a monster preparing to do something unthinkable. You grasp the handle and turn. Dr. Kelly emerges from the shadows and levels a firearm in your direction. You instantly notice it's not a proper rifle, but some kind of tranquilizer gun. Duck! Don't shoot! She shoots. The gun isn't very loud. There's only a pop as the projectile leaves the barrel, whizzing past your ear. You turn to see a dart embedded in Reese's chest. He pulls the tranquilizer dart out from between his ribs, heaving heavy breaths as the drug courses through his system. You're gonna have to try harder than that, you bit. No, How did you? As if you could hope to stop me, you pathetic waste of flesh. Wayne is so mean to Reese for no reason. Reese has no idea until now that this is what he is. So to call him a waste of flesh for something he can't control, or hasn't had the opportunity to even try to control before now, so mean. So mean. You're so mean, Wayne. Before Wayne takes another step down the stairs, paint flows out between cracks in the wood. Reese is panicked, pulling in a mob of furious creatures to hold his enemy in place. The artist darts away, but his creations continue their work in his absence. Dr. Kelly makes her escape down the hallway as Wayne is overcome, glued in place at the top of the stairs by stiffening globs of paint. Run to a nearby room. We don't want to be with Dr. Kelly. You rush out of the main entryway, taking cover in the first room you see. A few seconds pass. Things are quiet. Hey! Dr. Kelly's voice crackles out of some unseen speaker. You, Willow. I'm stuck in the safe room. I can't help you from here, but you can help the both of us. I'm not helping you. Wait, what? So you can keep poisoning him forever? Christ, is that how this happened? You helped him sleuth that out? Well, good job. Now you get to see why I would choose to give my own son lethal doses of poison every day. If I don't, he turns into a murder machine. Now listen to me. You're in the medical storage room, right? I need you to use the black key to get into the cabinet and bring me the elephant tranquilizers. It's a bottle labeled carfentanil. Bear tranquilizers clearly aren't going to cut it anymore. An intercom system, huh, Doc? Good. You should hear this. Willow, you don't have to do anything she says. I'm not going to hurt anybody else. Just her. If I don't, you and I both know she's just going to shoot me full of elephant tranquilizers. Did I hear that right? Yeah, Willow is absolutely on Reese's side here. Because she likes him. He's a nice person, nice friend so far. And she realizes that he never realized that he was a creature like this. And of course, he's still hopped up on adrenaline from learning this, and he's still figuring himself out, and Dr. Kelly absolutely went about this the wrong way. And shoved me back down that basement, or maybe someplace even worse, and keep killing me every day for the rest of my miserable existence. I feel amazing right now, better than I've ever felt in my life. I'm not dangerous, she's just scared because she knows she has to finally pay for what she's taken from me. He's not any more dangerous than any given human with a knife or a gun. You know? He has the tools to kill somebody, which he will use, if needed. But the only difference, that doesn't make him a bad person. He's just making use of the tools he has, like any person with a gun or a knife would. Just because a person is wielding a knife in self-defense doesn't make them a bad person. I don't know what I'm saying. He's just using the tools he has to take revenge on a person who wronged him. I am on Reese's side. Sorry, Dr. Kelly. I knew I could count on you. You can't be serious. He's going to try to kill me. You did it first. I'm just following your example, Doc. I'm doing everyone a favor, really. If she had no trouble doing this to her own son, who else might she decide she needs to be treated without their knowledge? Enough. Reese cries out in pain. Ah, what the hell did you do to my shoulder? I'll handle it. Try to get somewhere safe until then. The two stagger off down the hallway. Quick, grab the tranquilizers and head to the safe room. We're not going to grab the tranquilizers. If Reese hadn't come in and stated his piece, I think we might have grabbed the tranquilizers just so we could see how everything played out before we make our decision, but no. Willow does not want to listen to Dr. Kelly. Head for the safe room. You make your way out of the medical storage room and back to the hallway where Dr. Kelly disappeared. As you approach, Dr. Kelly heaves open the door, slowly breaking apart the mass of paint sealing it shut. Hurry, I don't think I can keep it open for long. You slip past her into the safe room. She shuts the door quickly, though one of the little smears manages to slip past her. She stomps on it. Painted viscera splatters across the cement floor. It sounds like Reese and your friend are still fighting. We probably have a few minutes before he gets here. While we're at it, any other secrets you're keeping? Maybe. If we both survive, I might decide to share a few more, if you don't go tattling to anybody. What is this room? Old x-ray room, lead walls. After I realized this whole situation was a possibility, I had the door reinforced with special remote-controlled locks. Glad it could finally come in handy. Let's talk Reese. Yeah, I bet you have some questions. Go ahead, I have nothing left to hide. How did he not know what he was? I've been medicating him since he was 12. We've only had 3 incidents like this before, maybe 4, depending on what counts. This is the worst one by far. He doesn't seem to understand at first that he looks different, and I just make sure to stay on top of his dosages, so he rarely ever does. But I've been preparing for this inevitability. He is an adult now. There's only so much I can do to control him. Why did you start poisoning him? Dr. Kelly sighs. Can we stop calling it poison? Yes, it's poison, but the act of me giving him poison was not me poisoning him. I was medicating his illness. It started when he was around 15. I've been giving him increasingly high doses of Klonopin. Klonopin, which is an anti-anxiety drug. A powerful benzodiazepine. The fact that she was giving him a psychiatric medication only strengthens my belief that Reese's situation is supposed to be a metaphor for neurodivergence and mental illness and parents who don't understand their children and try to fix them and abuse them in the process. And I think, you know what? Headcanon. Willow has used Klonopin in the past. Herself. So she, immediately hearing this, feels a kinship to Reese. Maybe it didn't work for her and she stopped taking it. But that's my headcanon. Willow has been prescribed Klonopin. And hearing this only strengthens the bond she feels to Reese. I couldn't keep ordering all those drugs. It was already suspicious and I could risk losing my license, especially if anyone ever found out what I was using them for. Someone approached me with a solution. I took it. And I've been dealing with the emotional and mental consequences of that decision ever since. Who approached you and what did they say? Dr. Kelly gives you a long, hard look. I don't want to talk about that woman. But screw it. I might die tonight. Sure, I'll tell you. It was Sybil. I don't know how the hell she found out. Maybe Reese had an episode while he was over at her place, who can say? I thought she was insane. She was telling me to give my son ricin like it was a mystical mountain folk cure for fussy teenagers. She was right, though. And I hate that. I hate the power it meant she had over me. Still has. Don't trust her, Willow. She puts in that sweet old lady act, giving everybody tea and talking about healing magics or whatever. But she's a snake. Willow believes this. She doesn't believe that Dr. Kelly is lying about anything, but she still hates her in this moment. Was his dad similar? A strange little smile creeps onto Dr. Kelly's face. I wish I knew. Reese just kind of happened. I wasn't seeing anyone, I just woke up pregnant one day. I know how impossible that sounds, I'm a doctor for Christ's sake. I kept having these weird dreams, almost like sleep paralysis episodes. Romantic sleep paralysis episodes. They were actually kind of sweet. They were just dreams. But then all of a sudden my period stopped. I got morning sickness, and roughly 9 months later, Reese. How do you know he's dangerous? Well, he wants to murder me, so that's clue number one. It's not like he's usually a violent kid, he's mostly just sad. But every now and then we butt heads, and that's usually when this side of him comes out. Yeah, and that's why he needs therapy, Doc. If he's got anger management issues, he needs therapy. I know there is a dialogue option that we didn't get earlier, where we say, you need to put your son in therapy. This happens when she's at Oscar's place treating Rosalina. We can say, the kid needs therapy, and she's like, I don't believe in therapists. I don't believe in mental illness. Just shape up and get over it. Like, that's what makes me hate Dr. Kelly the most, that she says that. And Willow would not like that either. But, yeah, it's obvious why she thought that treating his mind wasn't even an option before poisoning him. So he didn't have the option, so that he didn't have the tools to act on his urges before trying to get rid of the urges themselves in the first place. Imagine if this happens anytime he gets frustrated with anyone. Imagine he gets road rage one day, turns into a 12-foot tall monster with a million teeth, and rips somebody apart in the middle of a major metropolitan area. Yeah, he's dangerous. Don't you think it might be a self-fulfilling prophecy? Oh, don't preach to me. Is he a sweet kid most of the time? Absolutely. And Ted Bundy was sweet to the people he picked off the side of the road. She's comparing her child to Ted Bundy. This is not a loving parent. Didn't mean he didn't go ahead and slaughter them anyway. I know what my son is capable of, so it's my job to make sure he doesn't hurt anybody. And when did you find out? A little after he hit puberty. He had all the usual changes, then a few extra. Thickened nails, sharp teeth, elfish ears. I figured he might have some kind of genetic disorder, had him checked out at a few specialists, but there was nothing obviously wrong with him. Then we had an argument, and he changed right in front of me. It was nothing like what he is now, just a couple inches and some facial abnormalities, enough to be noticeable. I was scared, he could see that, and he stopped. I thought it was a one-off, or maybe a hallucination. But the second time it wasn't as subtle, and it didn't go away as easy. That's when I knew for sure that this was something beyond my realm of expertise. What is he? Willow, for the record, does not enjoy talking to this woman, but she needs to get as much information as she can. At first I thought he was some kind of werewolf. But if he is, he doesn't follow any kind of full moon rules or anything. Silver doesn't do shit to him, and you've seen what he looks like. It's just weird. I almost wish I could examine him while he's fully transformed. I'd be fascinated to know what happens to him or how his body does it. But he seems pretty hell-bent on ripping my throat out, so I guess that'll just have to remain a mystery. Yeah, understatement of the year, we're not saying this. You and Dr. Kelly sit in silence and wait for his son to make his way to you. Sorry, I needed some tea. The sound of distant breaking glass cuts through the silence of the clinic outside the safe room. I should have taken the what's the game plan option. Shit, this might be game time. Get those tranks ready. We have to get this door open before he crosses the hallway. Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of you stare out into the hallway. Oh, I actually have to click to make this happen now. Hello! Hello, friend. Is this what you were so afraid of? Hand over the tranquilizers, this is our shot. But you didn't take the tranquilizers, did you? Do nothing. Come on, what's the holdup? You stumble back into the safe room, away from the open doorway and Dr. Kelly. Oh my god. You didn't get them, did you? She lets out a strangled laugh. Reese pushes his now massive form into the safe room, staring down at his mother. Alright, we're gonna close our eyes. I think that the audio without the visuals, personally for me, is even worse. But you know, it's YouTube. They don't like gore. And as much as I am not one to kowtow to YouTube and its content rules because I never intend to monetize my channel, if they give me an option not to show it, I won't show it. You close your eyes. Oof, there's a loud scream, followed by a crunch and a pop. Then comes the loud splash of organs hitting the ground. You hear another round of crunching and tearing, and then silence. It must be over by now. You open your eyes. Sorry you had to be here for that. Sybil knows too. Be careful. I will. What happened to Wayne? Wayne? Oh. I pushed him out a window. Be careful around him. Messed up my shoulder somehow. Still isn't working right. Oh. He's evil. Really evil. He hates me. I could feel it. Was he familiar to you? I'm not sure. I thought there was something in his voice that sounded like someone I know. Someone who isn't real. Hug him. You carefully pick your way across the floor, avoiding what little is left of Dr. Kelly's remains, and kneel next to Reese. He stares at you with monstrous but all too human eyes, viscera still dripping from his maw. You lean in and wrap your arms around him. It takes him a moment to react, seemingly shocked at your touch, but he wraps his arms around you. His shoulders shake in your grip. You realize he's crying. And then he breaks out of your embrace and stumbles out of the safe room, his footsteps getting faster and faster as he runs off into his new life. Shell-shocked, you stumble out of the clinic and into the night air. The night is oddly warm compared to the chill of the day, crickets singing quietly in the sleepy little neighborhood. Everything that happened in the clinic feels almost like a dream, and now that it's over, you realize how little it meshes with your understanding of the world. It's time to go home. But before you can get far, you are interrupted by the sound of panting and the telltale jingling of dog tags. It's the militia. They've poured out of the woods to stand before you on the road. You were looking for Gretchen's human, weren't you? We found her. She's by the side of the road a little ways to the woods. She's unharmed. But you wouldn't leave when we tried to make her, so we'll have to take you to her. Hopefully you can use your people words to get her to someplace safe. The woods are crawling with those awful creatures. It's not safe anymore, not even for a human. You are very, very good dogs. Lead the way. And with this, Willow's opinion on animals has almost completely changed. It started with Gretchen and the love she showed for Stella, and now these very, very good dogs. Yes, we are good dogs. Hear that, Scraps? I'm not in it for the accolades, Daisy. I just do it to help those who need it. You let the dogs lead you into the wilderness, following on their heels as they take you to Stella's hideaway. Before long, the trees thin, and you find yourself on a steep hill by a 2-lane road, lined on one side by sheer rock. And there, sitting on a log, staring mournfully out of the asphalt, is Stella. And there she is. Keep her safe. Be seeing you, Speaker. You sit on the log beside Stella. Willow? How did you... She looks over her shoulder in confusion. Is that a gang of dogs? I'm just so happy you're okay. Aw, you poor thing. I'm fine, but thanks for not being mad. I didn't say I wasn't mad. I just want to know what happened. Please just talk to me. We're not mad. It doesn't matter. Everything's fine. What is this place, Stella? Why are you here? It's just a bunch of bad memories. There's nothing left to talk about. Yeah, we're not good enough friends with Stella to... We're not good enough friends with her to get her backstory, but... Come on, let's just go back to town. This is the spot where her parents died, if you weren't aware. She doesn't need to hear about this tonight. You keep the events that transpired at the clinic to yourself, at least for now. We can tell she doesn't want to hear it. The two of you walk back to town in silence. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. She gives you a tired wave before retreating into her house. Time for you to get home, too. He appears as if out of nowhere, clothes streaked with what at first looks like blood and gore, but you quickly realize is paint. Evidence of his altercation with Reese. I'll walk you. No way, dude. I'm walking home by myself. You start walking up the road, Wayne's silhouette quickly fading into the dark of the night. But it's not long before you hear the slow, methodical thud of boots on the road behind you. You turn to confront your pursuer. I wish Reese had finished you off. Wayne emits a strange kind of coughing sound. You realize he's laughing. As if he could even hope to try. His little constructs were a trick I wasn't expecting, but he won't be able to catch me off guard again. Wayne walks just ahead of you in near complete silence. Ugh, no, we're not gonna flirt with Rain. Seems like Reese gave you a run for your money. He laughs again. Oh, we kind of got a repeat in dialogue. I thought you wanted me to stay at the estate. Aren't you going to lecture me? You were free to make your own decisions, and those decisions have been made. I know that something pulls at you, and now that it's started, I know you cannot stop until your task is finished. I'll keep you safe while you do what you must. Alright, we're not going to even bother with the rest of this. You continue in silence back to the estate. I'm sure we'll see each other again tomorrow. You should try to spend some time in the old building before you head to town. Tabitha won't be around, too busy at the mines. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her there to stop you, and you might be surprised at what you find. Until then, sleep well. He disappears into the underbrush. The estate feels empty, wind howling through its abandoned halls, the very foundations creaking beneath you. Your cousin must have already gone to bed. Exhausted beyond belief, you stumble into your room and collapse on the bed. The damp smell of the mattress is starting to become almost welcoming, a sign that the now daily horrors of Scarlet Hollow are finally behind you, at least until the sun inevitably rises once again. You think for a moment about calling Kanika, but you're just too tired to even bother. You close your eyes, your exhausted body succumbing to sleep almost immediately. As you drift off, you think of Reese, out in the woods somewhere, bloodstained and free. And then you think of nothing. Episode 5 will release later this year. Yay! Alright, we're gonna... If you'd like to continue with this world state, please save your game now. We're gonna do that. We're gonna save it here. We have this available to us in case we wanna... In case the update ever releases or I want to go to the church. Yeah, alright. So this is the end of this Willow Scarlet playthrough for now. I will absolutely be continuing with this once we get episode 5. I've thought about it, and I think, you know, the devs have said that it's really best, what with the Roads Untraveled update, to not use your old saves for the game going forward. Like, they'll work just fine, but with all of the changes that have been made, it really will mesh better if you play the game now from scratch. So I have a lot of old saves that I'm probably never going to touch again, and I think Diana might be one of those, unfortunately. Um, so, and that also includes like the very first playthrough I ever did, kind of as myself, and a bunch of others that I can absolutely recreate in the Roads Untraveled update, but that I won't be touching immediately again. And I think that when episode 5 comes out, see, what I did with the original playthrough is that I had already played the game once, and I was making alternate choices on the channel. I think that I want to experience episode 5 completely blind, though. And I think I want to do that as Willow. So I won't be touching Diana's playthrough again. I will be starting from scratch as Willow, unaffected by what I already know. So like I won't be tempted to go to the church and talk to Pastor Daniel because of things that I as the player know already, but Willow doesn't. I will just be entirely acting as I believe that this character would. And I think that's the purest way to play this character, and also the purest way to let's play the game. So I'm really looking forward to that. Again, if they ever come out with the update where a romance Kanika can come to the clinic with you, I will absolutely be adding that to my Willow playthrough and coming back for an amendment there. But otherwise, I think you won't be seeing me until episode 5 comes out. Until then, though, I have been Mars, and I will be back with more Scarlet Hollow.